That's my point. You have to understand what you're doing in business because you got to do what's best for your kids. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something, the stress, go through all of it. So when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the whole
You can just pass it to him.
Now you talk about...
So if you're going to work 20 years in a business or 15 years in a business every day over and over again, and your son can't work here whenever he feel like it, you clowning me.
I don't want him to work
but that's
here.
me. I'm not saying you. If you owned it, wait a second.
I'm here because
time out.
I don't need a check.
That's stupid. You should be.
Like Murder
Time out.
Rap because he enjoy it, not because he want a check.
You're wrong.
I'm here because
I like the check.
Wait, time out.
Time out.
You're lying.
No, I'm serious. I don't need
Before you lose your control, just stay focused.
Like you say, do your homework.
So here, listen to me.
I work here because I enjoy it.
Why don't you listen?
I work here for free.
Who could work? Would you ever enjoy being a slave?
I'm not. It's not a slave. This is what I enjoy.
I don't think this is slavery, Dave.
Do you have to come to work today? Do you have a choice? Do you have to ask somebody when you have to? Yes, you do.
I don't.
Or you're fired. Can somebody tell you you're fired?
I don't.
Can somebody tell you you're fired? Yes or no? Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. And that's priceless to me.
But I'm here because
I don't care. You enjoy having a man be able to tell you you're fired?
But you enjoy.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you could pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, all right, but don't you have to wake up at 4 in the morning? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there, Dash or whatever your last name is, instead of somebody else's? My pride is in my children. Like, look what I'm doing right now. Look at my son. I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you hustlers for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you.
My kids are good.
How they good? Your kids aren't going to be kids.
I feel like I'm in the Def Jam boardroom and backstage.
They kids, they're not supposed to work. I'm saying when they men, you're supposed to pass them something. You're working for another man.
They're worried about.
See, to me, this is retarded. See, this is the
questions. I feel like I'm in Def Jam's boardroom. This is not backstage. Everybody cool out for a second. But Dave, I'm going to ask you this question. You're a businessman.
Absolutely.
What's wrong with taking the money from here and investing it into other stuff that we own?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Thank you.
Everybody eat a cookie. Cool out for a second.
I'm not mad. The mentality is this. It's frustrating. Because you're on the radio and this message is crazy to me. You're saying because you enjoy music or being a DJ, you enjoy having a boss. If you enjoy being a DJ, just why don't you own your own radio station and then DJ for your own radio station so your son can just get on anytime he wants? That's all I'm saying.
But it's steps to it, though.
No, there's no steps to it because I do it. See, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. My son takes pride. My kids take pride in the fact that I have Dash Motors. And because I have that, my son said, I'm not going to ever have a boss. His mentality is different. It's just about changing mentality.